Extraordinary discovery during the construction of a new power line. Archaeologists unearth a cemetery from the Copper Age with 3 warrior graves. One of the deceased even wore part of his armor. Archaeologists have discovered an approximately 4,500-year-old cemetery with 10 graves from the Bell Beaker culture near Vorderstedt, located in the Salz-Landkreis district of Germany. Currently, 3 particularly well-preserved burials have been uncovered. The deceased, buried in a hunched position facing east, were interred under a common burial mound. Women were laid on the right side, while men were on the left side of the body. A common burial mound covered all 3 deceased, said project leader Suzanne Friedrich from the State Office for Heritage Preservation and Archaeology of Saxony-Anhalt. In the Bell Beaker culture, the dead were always buried in a hunched position facing east. The name comes from the bell-shaped ceramic vessels that were filled with food and placed in the grave for the journey to the afterlife. Among the most striking discoveries are the grave goods found within the tombs. In one grave, archaeologists unearthed a bell-shaped ceramic vessel, approximately 15 centimeters in diameter, filled with food to accompany the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. This vessel was found in one of the 3 central burials. In the second burial, a stone arm guard was discovered. The archaeologists stated this indicates a male hunter or warrior. The arm guard, measuring approximately 8 by 4 centimeters, cushioned the snapping bowstring and thus prevented injuries. The third grave is remarkably well preserved. In the back area of a warrior, 2 arrowheads were found. They were very close together, Friedrich noted. Additionally, a quiver was faintly outlined in the sediment. This container for the arrows was made of organic material and has decayed. Only a different color and structure in the sediment indicate that the deceased was buried with his equipment. Although the graves were discovered at a depth of about 2 meters, they were originally much deeper or well protected by a high burial mound. Excavation leader Christian Lau explained, the graves were not placed on the surface, as is often observed with artificially mounded graves. Instead, the burial pit was dug through the upper soil layers and the loess clay down to the sand and filled with unmixed loess clay. This has allowed the bones to remain very well preserved. If they had been lying directly in the sand, the state of preservation would have been significantly worse. The graves will now be excavated in their entirety and examined more closely in the laboratory. The excavations are taking place in advance of the expansion of the direct current line Südostlink. The entire power line is approximately 540 kilometers long, stretching from Wolmerstedt near Magdeburg to the Isar site near Landshut in Bavaria.